losing my mind. I think that beech tree just slapped me in the head. And if I had any sense up there, I think it just knocked it right out. This is 4 meters and 80 millimeters. This is 16 feet, just under 1511. Am I gonna leave it or should I cut it into 2 8-foot sections? It might be fun to leave it a big old log and put it somewhere we won't regret, whatever that means. You might be wondering, how's he gonna secure this thing? And I'm kind of wondering that too. So I've got this 1-ton rope puller to secure it around this loopy thing there. I think this is kind of a good log to try with this because it's 14 feet. It's really, no, it's 16 feet. It's really not that long compared to what I normally do. It's maybe only like 4 feet longer. But this is kind of fun, so. I think it's gonna be good enough. I'm just gonna bring the tractor all the way up, tie the rope, and be pretty close to it. This might be dangerous, but it might be fun. I got slapped in the face by a beech tree earlier, and suddenly I feel better. I am foaming at the mouth a little bit, but I'm feeling better. So we moved the 16-foot log here, and that was a good test because this one is just a little bit longer than some of the other ones I would do without that two-part setup. Now the front of this thing was actually under the tractor, under the piece of steel that comes out of the bottom of the PTO there. It was up in there, and it was a little bit sketchy, but I think I was trying to get as close because I typically have tension there. And usually when I start driving, the tension like pulls the log out a few feet, and that's why it hangs. So it's actually a pretty tight gap to get the log off the ground, but also not hit, you know, the tires. And I've got a few more logs that are a little bit bigger. I don't know if I can get a 20-footer back here. Not that easy, at least. Maybe. So guys, if you watched this far into the video, I do really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please tap the like button on the video. That's going to encourage more people to see the video, and in turn, I'll make more videos. And if you haven't already, please tap the subscribe button as well. So this one looks like a beech tree. I haven't really cut too much beech wood yet, so that'll be fun. So it's just under 21.5 feet. So this one's actually longer. This is 23 feet and 4 inches. Yesterday I moved a 16-foot log, and moving a 7-foot log is pretty easy at this point. So I know I can do the 16, and I can definitely do the 7. If I wanted to stretch it to 20, it's only so long I can sit here and contemplate this. So I think what I'm going to do is go grab the tractor. I'm going to put the rope around this one right here and see if I can pull it out safely and see how that feels. And if it feels like it's just too much, then we're gonna cut it. And if it doesn't, then maybe we're gonna do it. To get this just like a foot tighter to the tractor. Here you can see it's actually lifted off the ground there. So it does kind of curve and have an arc. And if I had to pick a spot where this should be cut, it's right here. I'm no expert, but I think this one maybe is maple. It looks a bit like ash as far as the bark goes to me, but I don't see any ash borer signs, which, you know, I would expect. So let's head back and deal with the big one. I'm gonna have to take care of this epic one pretty soon. That's an ash. Next up, I'm going to use this 1-ton rope puller, which is not really for this purpose, but it works. And we're going to wrap this around the log and through the handle. And I'm going to wrap it about 4 times, just because I can. I think every additional wrap is going to make it a little bit more secure, I think. Really love this log. This log has been so much to me. Oh. Oh man, hugging trees gets weird fast. All right. We're gonna hook into this guy right here. Okay. And now we are going to lock this so that it'll tighten. Just gonna hit the switch. And that should just tighten for us to the point that we need it to, which it honestly doesn't have to be that tight, it just has to keep it secure. Now we're gonna tie her back up here with the tow rope. Yesterday I was getting really close and pretty much under the tires. The log was wedging underneath that bar right there, and I think I want to keep that bar out there so that the log doesn't push too far in there. I don't want to adjust it. So I do want it to be a little bit like a trailer hitch, like a ball joint where it can kind of turn. I think it's just safer that way. You don't want it statically fixed to the tractor here, but I think if I do this as tight as I can to the log, it's going to get about 2 feet of give. That's going to push it back and hopefully be in the exact right spot where I want it to be. We'll see. Now this one I think is 1 foot longer than yesterday's log. So that's cool if we make it. Well, we got it here safely, and I am gonna have a little bit of cleaning up to do. It was scraping the ground a little bit, but maybe only a couple of inches, so it wasn't really that bad. But still would be nice if I could get this off the ground in a slightly more efficient manner. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't lift it and just leave it on the forks, I don't really want all that downward pressure bobbling the tractor. It's got so much leverage that it's gonna push the tractor around more than I would like. And so that is why it's not on the forks. In fact, I probably would take the forks off if they weren't such a pain to take off the plate. I need the plate for tying the rope, so the plate's staying, but yeah, anyways. I think I might be able to just detension this. Easily enough. Oops, gotta fix that. Let's see if the trailer is doing okay. She's okay. So here's a side-by-side comparison of the log we moved yesterday, which was this one, the starter log at 16 feet. And then we have this one here that is probably close to 18. Maybe we should measure it again. So here we're at 14, 15, 16, 16 foot 9.5. The bottom might be 16.10. Safely 16.8. All right, well that one's done, so it's time to do the second one now. So let's pause for a second here. I did not want to have this thing potentially roll that way and then have enough force that it just pulled the tractor. And it probably does have that much force. So I've decided that, that I was gonna roll it down this way to make it a little bit safer. And now I'm noticing that after all of that, it looks like we might actually have some rot that goes, I don't know, kind of far in the log. The fact that this side already was tapering off, I think I'm just gonna make the decision right now to go grab the chainsaw and just play it safe. It's always a good option to play it safe. And I think I'm just gonna cut this thing down right here. So I had kind of a split-second decision there to just go ahead and drag the thing because it seemed like it wasn't digging too hard. But you can see down here that we're actually getting into a deeper level than I thought. You know, the nice thing about filming all this is that it kind of forces me to take a few breaks to recharge the batteries. And sometimes it's good to just pause because you don't want to get too deep into something and make a mistake because you were doing it fast. I think a lot of people do that, and I do it too. So I'm trying right now not to do that. Guys, the log pile is looking awesome. By looking awesome, I mean it's almost gone. And it's kind of sad. Woof, I'm stepping on a rock. So after that 21 footer has been moved, we've got this one right here, which this will probably make a nice, nice pole. And that one, I don't know, maybe if they're not rotted. Then we have a couple of stackers. I wasn't really counting that as part of this project. Then we got the Chungus brothers over here. Chungus major, Chungus minor. Got to figure out something to do with those. All right, guys, well, why don't we measure and see if we got a new high score. It's gonna be close. I don't think it's actually that much longer now than the other log was, so why don't we just take a look. $16.8, what do you know? It seems like 16'8" is the magic number here for me, and my sawmill is about 16 feet long, so maybe those 4 inches on each side, if I got the exact beam out of it, would be enough to mill that. But been out here for 12 days, just breaking down this pile and having a lot of fun while I'm at it, trying to be safe. And if you watch the whole episode, I do really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, could you just go ahead and tap that like button? And if you haven't already, could you go ahead and tap that subscribe button? And guys, if you haven't already, could you go ahead and tap the like and the subscribe button? But not if you've already tapped them, just tap them. You know, you get what I'm saying. A lot of noise in the woods. Should we go see what's going on? Maybe some deer, maybe some people, maybe some squirrels throwing nuts. I don't know. You know, I think what's coming up next here is a whole lot of milling, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.